You know, I believe that we are all out here, like the young entrepreneurs, we are all out here competing against teams. So if you want
Right.
to be by yourself and then target you wouldn't get far.
If I am starting the
Mm,
business,
yeah.
right, what and what do I need to get in place, and how much exactly would all of that sum up to?
If I help you start, you need help running it.
Right.
And running it is the most important part. I will help you run it, but I can't help you start.
Have you always had these entrepreneurs like in your head? Oh, I would want to start a
Yes.
business. You
Yes.
didn't want
Really,
to work for anyone?
I haven't had bad experience working for somebody, but I know that I want to do something. Like I would want to have people work for me and all that.
Right.
Yeah.
How do you balance the payment, the payroll,
Mhm.
the mistakes, the challenges, and all of that, and still make profit? First, before you even answer that, is this business very profitable?
I think it is. I mean, it keeps me in business, so I think
I mean,
it's
a lot of people are in business, but they're not really making much profit.
I do a lot of free cleaning. Like I come to a place cleaning for free for a shout outs. And then yeah, so my first year I worked so much, and I think I started getting the returns in my pay
If you had to start all over again, what would be the one thing that you will not do?
that I wouldn't do.
Hi,
Hello,
how you
I'm
doing?
doing great. How are you?
I'm awesome. What's your name?
Yeah, my name is Shun.
Sean. Sean, what
Yeah,
do you do?
so I'm CEO of ECS Express.car.spa. I don't know if you know about it.
Yes, I've seen you guys.
Yeah.
You guys are pretty,
So,
some.
mm,
What would you do though? Let's tell the people.
so we basically just go around cleaning cars. We do have a garage at Accra Girls, around Accra
Mm,
Girls, and then we go around town cleaning cars. We prioritize home service. So, we are usually just like around town
mm,
cleaning, doing home service and stuff.
right.
Yeah.
Why did you choose to start cleaning cars?
So I think I've always been a car lover. I've always been like a car enthusiast, and
Mm,
I think the kind of cars that's coming to the country recently needs special attention.
right.
Talking about the type of leather they use, the type of
Mm,
paints, all of that
mm,
stuff. So yeah, so I took it upon myself to kind of learn it and then teach others so they can
mm,
like offer the service and at their convenience. Yeah, so yeah,
mm, right. How long have you been doing this?
a little over 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah,
Do you remember the capital you started with?
I really remember. Okay, I had I had done my research,
Mm.
calculated everything, but trust me, it went well over
That
yeah,
amount, yeah.
So I don't remember, but I know how much we need
Mm.
to start the
Something
same
like
business.
that.
Yeah, right.
Would it be something similar to the amount you started with two
No,
years ago? It would definitely
no,
be more.
yeah.
Okay.
I think you
Okay.
can start small. I mean, we do too much, but I
Mm.
think you can definitely start small and then you learn and grow with the business,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
So where we are now, we can't. It's basically just you can just start little. Yeah,
Mm. Mm. Was it the home service that you started 2 years ago, or the car
yeah. I
wash?
think the home service and the home service because I think people are getting lazier now. I don't know if you know.
Mm.
Yeah, I wouldn't say lazy. I could instead of lazy, I think
Mm.
people are getting busy.
Mm.
So they don't have time to go to the washing bay and then have this. There's someone that has over 2 cars, three, four. I've been to
Mm.
a house that has 8 cars
Mm.
and owned by one person.
Mm.
So taking all those 8 cars to the washing bay and all that
Mm.
stuff. So I saw the problem and I came up with a solution. A solution that already existed,
Mm.
but I just made it more convenient. Yeah.
Right. And so far, how's it going?
Pretty fine. I'm still in business, so I would say
Okay.
pretty fine.
That's awesome. Now, that's so meaning the car wash that you have
Right.
recently,
Yeah.
oh, is also 2 years old. Oh, has that been there
So
already?
it's just one. It's just one car. I started with ECS and I'm running with ECS.
Right,
Yeah.
right. I mean, with your location at Accra Girls.
Okay, so it started. I used to be at Westlands.
Right,
Yeah, until I moved to Accra Girls. Yeah. When I said I
right.
didn't have a place,
Okay.
so everywhere we are now, we recently just like moved there. So yeah,
Oh, oh,
yeah.
okay, okay. Cool, 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 cool. What has been like your biggest challenges of the business?
I think I think I have two.
Mm.
One has to do with the people that I employ. They have been like
Mm.
the
Biggest challenge.
yes, because it's really stressful. Everybody, I think people are lazy. They have no work ethic. So and the kind of clients that I deal with, if I say I'm coming to your place at maybe 9 a.m. they expect me to be there by like 8:30.
Right.
And my workers, don't understand that. So someone will ask you, oh, we are supposed to be somewhere at 8, so be here by 7.
Mm.
And then they come up with some excuses like, oh, it's traffic, it was cloudy, I thought it was going to rain. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, yeah, so I think my workers, and then I
Okay.
think my clients. Some clients also do not understand because it's home service. I usually take booking a day before, and
Mm.
I have certain clients that would want to call you now and have you come now.
Mm.
So I think those have been the my biggest challenges. I'm still trying to deal with those.
Right.
Yeah, I'm still
Right.
yeah.
Have you found your solution to? I feel like with the two, the
Mm,
easiest one that you could solve would be the workers.
right.
Have you
It
found?
seems it seems so, but no, it's not. So
Really?
yeah, because it's four people a team. Like
Right.
a van has four people, should have four people in it, and
Right.
then each of them have like specific roles. So
Right.
if one is late, then let's say there's this guy that does the center console. It's
Right.
just very sensitive spots to clean.
Okay.
So I have someone that I teach. I can't have one person learn it all. Although I've had people that knew it all.
Right.
So if he doesn't come, we can't go clean the car without cleaning the center console, or we
Right.
can't go clean the car and then risk for somebody else to clean it. So
Right.
when situations like that, I have to come by myself, and I'm at most of my appointments too. So
Right.
yeah,
So interesting.
yeah,
The reason why I find it interesting is because a lot of business owners that I've
yeah.
interviewed so far will just, find a different alternative to this. So, for example, if you have just one person,
Mhm.
they will look for a backup.
With how I can understand that would be like a great solution for it. But here's the thing:
Right.
we move in a van, and the
Right.
van can only take up to four people.
Ah,
So
okay.
I can't take more than then I have to. Then I'll be paying somebody for doing
I
nothing.
grab. I grab.
You know what I'm saying?
I
So
grab.
it's just like I can't employ more. Yeah, if I could, I would have, but
Right.
I just can't employ more.
Does it also come to the underlying factor that you have to employ someone that knows the job or understands the job already? Or they all came in as
Yes,
newbies?
almost everybody that I that works for me, I taught them from scratch.
Okay.
Except I like to take so in every van,
Right.
I like to have 1% from the washing bay.
Mm,
So they have experience with how to control the gun, the kind of risk
mm,
involved. So
mm,
if anything should go wrong, like maybe the connection from the water to the pressure machine, that
mm-hmm,
stuff, they know their stuff when it comes to
mm,
like
mm-hmm,
stuff like
mm-hmm,
that. And then people that like car enthusiasts like myself,
mm,
and then I just get them, I teach them, the basics of how to. And
mm.
sometimes it takes me 3 months to teach them.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Okay.
sometimes you could teach somebody for up to about 4 months and then they stop. Imagine I paid them to teach them. So when you come, nothing, you're still like on the payroll. So yeah,
Right.
instead of you paying to learn,
Mm.
I paid to teach them. It's like what they're learning, they're getting paid. That's how it is,
Interesting.
yeah.
So they're learning, they're not really providing a service, but they're getting
They're
paid.
getting paid, yeah. So they're learning on the job. So sometimes like when the car comes to the garage, I'll be like, okay, so I teach you what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Usually it takes them longer because
Mm-hmm.
they're not very used to the
Right.
equipment and all
Right.
that. So I tell you have maybe 45 minutes to get this section, this part of the
Okay.
car clean.
Okay.
So they're able to do that. That's how they learn it. Yeah.
Ah, okay. Interesting. What are some of the mistakes you've made so far?
Personally, I think I've made very little mistakes because I was scared when I started. Because when I
Mm.
started, some of the cars that I clean now, I hadn't even seen them before
Right.
up until I started cleaning them.
Right.
So I was I don't want to say scared, but very careful when I was
Okay.
cleaning cars like that. But with some of the buckets that I have, they are not. And I pay some of them by commission. So
Okay.
sometimes I'm in a rush to finish a car and then go to the next car because the more cars you do, the more money they get.
Oh.
So there was this one time, there was this guy. I do not. He's one of my clients. I don't know what his name is. It was through a call, so I know his number and I have his name saved by his car.
Mm, okay.
Right. So he has this I think E53 or so.
All right.
And then they went to clean the engine bay. I don't know what went on. But apparently, my guy was saying that some of the system parts was like fixed before he had issue, and the car owner, I don't know how true it is. I wasn't
Mm.
there. And then I don't know what went on there, but the engine had an issue,
Oh
and
my
then we
god.
had to fix it. Talk to the guy and all
Oh
that.
my
Yeah, so
god.
That's one of them. That's one of the issues that we have with clients.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But with mistakes like that, how have you been able so far to
Yeah.
fix
So
those
when
ones?
it comes, I take care of it, but
Mm.
I do talk to the clients
Mm.
if they would want to help in any way, and usually they
Mm.
want their mechanics to work on them. I have a
Right.
mechanic that does all that, but
Okay.
if you prefer your mechanic work on it, yeah,
Mm.
that's okay, and then we just take care of the cost. And then imagine that job was supposed to cost he was supposed to pay 700 cedis, but we ended up spending over, I think, well, close to 5,000 cedis to fix that problem.
Wow.
But if nothing had happened, we were only getting
700.
700 cedis from the job, and the 700 is transportation there and back, all that stuff. So the profit on the job was supposed to be around 300, but we ended up spending over 5,000 to fix what we damaged. So that's
Wow.
it. And the cars that we do are so expensive that their parts are also
Yeah.
expensive.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we
Awesome.
try our best to be careful, but you can't be too careful.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. Right.
right.
Awesome. So, what would be your biggest takeaway of you being in the business so far? If there's a biggest takeaway, you'd be like, ah, this business is definitely ABC.
So when you say take away, you mean how much cash I'm taking away?
No, not cash. I mean, with your experience, what is the biggest thing you've learned with the business?
Oh, so the biggest that I've learned that has nothing to do with car cleaning. It has everything to do with customer service.
Okay.
So somebody calls you, you don't know who they are, but you have to talk to them
Mm,
politely and all that. So I
mm.
hadn't done any customer. I answer my calls by myself.
You don't have anyone in
No, no,
charge of
no.
that.
So I
Okay.
like to talk to my clients by myself.
Okay.
So I've had certain clients that are so cool in
Okay.
person,
Right.
but on over the phone,
They're
they are
not.
easy experience.
Yeah.
And so I think communicating has helped me communicate to people better,
Right.
regardless
Right.
of their backgrounds and all
Mm,
that. Yeah,
mm. Did you have problem with your communication until you started the business?
I wasn't talking to nobody. Yeah,
Ah, okay, an
so
introvert. Okay.
yeah, yeah. So I wasn't talking to nobody, so I didn't know how to properly respond to certain things. So when you say
Mm,
something it's off-putting, but now
mm,
I've learned to understand that we are all different, and then people come from different backgrounds. So this, we don't, do you get what I mean? So we
mm.
didn't come from the same upbringing. So everybody,
Right.
yeah. So I've learned to deal with all of that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting. So now take me through the journey. If I am starting the
Mm,
business,
yeah.
right? What and what do I need to get in place and how much exactly would all of that sum up to?
Okay. So first of all, if you're starting out, you don't starting out fresh, you don't have no idea about the
Mm-hmm,
business.
mm-hmm.
I would have you take at least 6 months, depending on how fast you learn.
Mm,
Take at least 6 months. They are like go to social media, every
mm,
platform that you find some useful information, you just go there. I have people text me that, oh, I want to start this business. I want to start a business that you're doing. I've seen what you're doing. I like it. I want to start it here, maybe in Kumasi, maybe in Takrady, all that
mm-hmm,
stuff. And then they ask me about like what machine that you use to do
mm-hmm.
your vacuuming. If you really want to start it, you wouldn't need me to tell you what machine it is.
Right. You should have
Yes, right.
ideas.
So I have it in my notes on my phone. I have a note in there that talks about it. Like anybody that comes to ask me stuff like that, I'll tell you. Starting is the most difficult part. Figure it out when you start, and then
Mm,
if I help you start, you need
mm.
help running it.
Right.
And running it is the most important part. Starting
Mm,
is the easiest part.
mm.
Start it. No, I think it's the most difficult part. So if you're
Right.
able to start it, you'll be
Mm-hmm.
able to run it. I will help
Mm.
you run it, but I can't help you start.
Right.
Yeah. So
Okay, so I learned.
mm,
What do I need to do next?
so you learn everything you need to know about like the cars,
Mm,
the type of leather they use for
mm,
certain cars, how they clean
mm,
that specific
mm,
type of
mm,
leather, know some of the damages that happen to the cars. Like
mm.
over here, I think that the is the sun that damages people's cars the most.
Right,
So you have the
right,
sun,
and the roads,
right?
the
The
roads.
rules,
Like,
the
this
rules,
is this is me that directly to the government.
right?
The roads.
I think the rules do not affect the parts that we deal with. The
Okay.
rules affect like the shock absorbers and
Right.
all that, but we don't.
Right. You don't
We are dealing
deal
with
with
the
that.
paint, the
Okay.
insides, and all that.
Okay.
So I think the road doesn't damage the car too much, but I think the washing bay, like the local washing, the traditional
Mm,
one,
mm.
they also damage the car because of the sponge that they use in
Right.
cleaning the car, and then the soap. You know,
Right.
I know some use Omo, and Omo is very.
Abrasive, yes.
right? And then
Very abrasive.
it's too harsh on some of
Mm-hmm.
the leathers in the cars. And then I think the paint as well. If you keep scrubbing it with, it's just you just have to learn
Mm,
the things that affect the car. Then you know how to
mm,
avoid it. And then
mm,
when you have a client that has those problems, you find
mm,
out how to treat them. So
mm,
if you start doing that bit by bit,
mm.
then you gain experience.
Okay.
And then you start talking to people. Definitely, you would have somebody that has a car. So you
Mm,
inspect the car, find out the problem, go learn about how to solve it for them for free,
mm.
and then you gain the experience.
Right.
You continue doing that up until you get cash to buy some of the things that you need.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what are some of the things that I will need?
So so you need a vacuum cleaner
Okay.
for the floors. You need spray bottles for the
Okay.
chemicals. You need like microfiber dusters. There are certain
Mhm.
dusters that when you use, it doesn't it doesn't destroy the paint or the
Mhm.
glass
Mhm.
or you know. So we are more of protection. Like while we are cleaning the car, we are trying to protect it as well. And I think if you want to start um like mobile detailing
Mhm.
or car detailing,
Mhm.
you should get you shouldn't do it the traditional way because
Okay.
yeah, because it damages the paint. I mean, when I'm washing the exterior of the car, the reason why you see this the white studs that we put on the car before we start cleaning.
Yeah.
So most people do not understand why we do that, but here's how. Here's why we do that. So you see, the dirt when the car is dirty, the dirt on it is sand. It's tiny.
Right.
They are grits.
Tiny, tiny particles.
Yes, they are tiny grits. So if you just like put your sponge in a soapy water
Right.
and then start washing it, you'll be scrubbing the grits into the paint. That's how come you see
Right.
a car and it has so many like tiny
Tiny, tiny.
lines.
Yeah. True.
Yes, they are from the grits that the traditional washing they used to
Scratch on it.
damage the
Yeah.
paint. So what we do is when we foam it up, the foam takes the grit off the paint,
Okay.
and then
More
we
like a
wash
soaking it.
right. So and then we wash all the grits down before
Right.
we contact wash it. Yeah, so
Ah.
that you wouldn't have grit on the you wouldn't be scrubbing the grit into the paint.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Awesome. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay. So with all of that you just said,
Right.
how much would it sum up to me starting? Would I need a specific amount?
So I can't tell for sure, but you have to find out
So
what
range.
I can't give a range. The time that I bought my stuff is
Okay.
different from now, you
Right.
know. So I can't really tell you how much
Mm.
you will need.
Mm.
Yeah. And then, but the most expensive thing, like the big purchases when it comes to the mobile detailing thing,
Mm-hmm.
is like you're gonna need like because of my mobile detailing, you're gonna need a van or some sort of car to move around town.
Right.
But
Right.
if you're doing it stationary,
Mm-hmm.
then I think you need a pressure wash,
Right.
and then it has to have a certain psi. You can't have it
Okay.
too high, you can't have it too
Too
low.
low.
If it's too high, you might be damaging certain things over time. Some of
Okay.
the washing made pressure wash is very like strong,
High.
and
Yeah.
then it's not all the parts. There are some cars that have sensors. Those cars that when you close it, you don't have to
Mhm.
bang it, you
Mhm.
just have to
Mhm.
push it, and
Mhm.
then it just goes by itself.
Right.
So it's a sensor around the door. So if you have like a pressure wash with that much psi,
Right.
you might be destroying the car if you clean it.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
it's just so much that you have to pay attention to.
Awesome. Now let's move away from the business on itself.
Right.
You as an entrepreneur, what I am trying to wrap my head. First of all,
Right.
you completed school how long ago?
This year.
This year. How
Yeah.
insane is that? You were literally in the final year when
Yeah.
you started.
So when I didn't start when I was my final year. I was I think my third year, and then I
Okay.
haven't been so. I failed my course, right? But that's okay. So I used to have morning class. Like I usually wake up around like 7.
Mm-hmm.
I usually wake up around 5 to pray. I'm Muslim,
Right.
so I wake up around 5. But like at 7, that's when like
Mm-hmm.
my day starts. So
Mm-hmm.
I come for lectures and all that stuff, and have to come to the gym because
Mm-hmm.
at the time I was trying to put on weight. I used to be skinny,
Okay.
so I used to do the gym, school, plus work. And at the
Mm.
time, we have home service. We wasn't so good, and it was just
Mm.
3 of us. I had only 2 people with me, and we were cleaning cars. So it takes us about 5 hours to clean one car. So,
Interesting.
and then while we are cleaning the car, making videos because I have to promote the business.
Right.
And when I make the videos, I have to come back home and then edit them.
Edit them.
And I wasn't so good at editing as well. I had to take a class on that
Okay. So
separately.
someone taught you
Yeah,
how to edit. Interesting.
yeah. He's
Okay.
Akins. He's a videographer.
Akins.
Yeah, Emmanuel Akins. You know,
Okay,
yeah,
carry on.
he told me. So he used to be my class professor back in school. I was in
Okay,
school with him, yeah, from
okay,
June. So he used to be my class professor. Shout out to Akins. He taught me how to make videos.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. So that was it. But then my question right now is,
Mhm.
have you always had this entrepreneurs like in your head? Oh, I would want to start a
Yes.
business. You
Yes.
didn't
The
want to
reason,
work for anyone?
no, this is okay. I've actually worked for someone. I did enjoy it. It was like it was a nice experience.
Mm.
People have I hear people talk about how they hate working for people, how they treat them bad. I
Mm-hmm.
worked for
Mm-hmm.
this lady once. We are still in touch. She's
Mm.
Charles. She's oh my it's Kinect Global. That's the company
Okay.
that I work for.
Right.
Right. So I used to do chauffeur, and then yeah, I used to do like the whole. I just like multitask. But I think she enjoyed the time that we worked, and I think I did too. So I haven't had bad experience working for somebody, but I know that I want to do something. Like I would
Mm.
want to have people work for me and all that. Yeah,
Right. And that was when this came in. I like to do a little background check
yeah.
with you, right? When your family, who is like very entrepreneur, aside from you.
So my everybody in my family does something on their own, but I have the most workers. So,
Okay.
but I don't have the most money, but I think I have the most um employees.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So meaning you grew up seeing people work for themselves. You grew up seeing
Yes,
entrepreneurs.
everybody in my house work for themselves.
Right.
Mm.
You still live with your family?
No, I live by myself.
You live by yourself.
Yeah.
Awesome. Now that takes me to your question.
Yeah.
Are you single?
Yes, I am.
I have one, two. I interviewed three people today. You
Right.
have two founders that are single. I'm going to be tagging them, sliding the idea.
Right.
I'm not giving you permission. I'm just telling you.
I haven't had the best luck with with females. And actually, ECS was supposed to let me get this out of the way. ECS was supposed to be something when I was starting ECS, I had this
Mm.
girlfriend that I was dealing with at the time, and it was supposed to be with her.
Ah,
Yeah. So
okay.
I had the idea, told her about it.
Mm,
She gassed me up. She did go. I don't know. I wouldn't want to put her name out. I don't know how
that's
she feel
okay.
about it, but I think I still do appreciate her. We didn't get along. We didn't
Mm,
get far, but I think
mm,
something that I started with her is still running.
mm.
So
Right.
I'm forever grateful.
Shout out to you, baby, wherever you
Right.
are.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's wrap it up.
Right.
You are running this business and you
Right.
have four employees.
Mhm.
How do you balance the payment, the payroll,
Mhm.
the mistakes, the
Mhm.
challenges, and all of that, and still make profit? First of all, before you even answer that, is this business very profitable?
I think it is. I mean, it keeps me in business, so
Mm.
I think
I mean,
it
a
is.
lot of people are in business, but they're not really making much profit.
Right.
But they're
I
just in
mean,
business just for
I
being in
think
business.
the profits, much profit or enough profit, is very
Relative.
yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody might want. I think I'm content with with the profit that
Okay.
I'm making.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Makes sense.
Even though I've had challenges, I think with what you asked, my employees they take their cash despite the challenges that we face throughout
Okay.
the month.
Right.
So and sometimes we move out in vans,
Right.
so the car can break down, which it has so many times, but it
Mm.
has nothing to do with their salary.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. Now I know you were not so long in the business. I mean, 2 years, but
yeah.
yeah. What has been your biggest year? I mean, between the two, which year would you say, you made quite a significant profit, or the
Okay,
business
so
has made a very good money this year? Would it be the first
so
year or the second year?
I'm in my second year. No, okay, so it's the second year because I'm in my third year.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm a little over 2 years,
Okay.
so it should be my second year. My first year I was working. Okay, so I worked more in my second year,
Mm.
but I made so much in my
First
Uh,
year.
no, I worked so much in my first year,
First year. Okay, okay,
but I
okay.
make so much in my second year.
Okay.
Because the first year I was now trying to have people to believe in me that
Right.
I can take
You're
care of their
building
cars. Yes,
credibility.
right.
Okay.
So I was doing so much, but was getting paid so little. So
Right.
like I think I started a business, I was getting paid,
Mm.
but I was still investing in the business
Mm.
out of the money from the business, from
Mm. Your
my personal,
pocket.
yes,
Okay.
I was still investing. So I do a lot of free cleaning. Like I come to a place, clean it for free for a
Mm.
shout outs.
Mm.
And then yeah, so my first year I worked so much, and I think I started getting the returns in my second
Mm.
year
Mm. If you had to start all over again, what would be the one thing that you would not do?
that I wouldn't do. I wouldn't depend on myself to start a business. I wouldn't. talking about that, I'm talking about financially. So
Okay.
you don't necessarily have to have all the money to start a business.
Okay.
You, I mean, you there are people that have money that don't have ideas or the like the time, the
Mm.
energy to set up something.
Mm.
But if you do, you can like, talk to them. I've had
Right.
take loans. If you have a business you want to get far, most majority of the business owners are in debt. So just
Right.
take loans. I've been fortunate enough to have certain people that give me loans on a
Mhm.
comfortable. So when I say I took a
Mhm.
lot of loans, that's what I was saying. Like
Right.
3 months, 4 months in, I was still investing in the business.
Right.
So the money that I was making from the business wasn't matching with the needs.
Mhm.
So I was
Mhm.
still taking loans, investing in it and all that. I've had some people that are so nice. I have big ambition, which is Sadiq. He
Mm.
and his brother, I think Farid.
Mhm.
Yeah, give me some loans. It was very comfortable.
Mm.
And I think Spencer. There's
Mm.
this guy as well. He's my friend from way back. He
Mm.
also has a business. He sells clothes.
Mm. Mm.
Go and patronize him. GH Vintage Online. So
Okay.
he has this here. So he I took loans from him. So you could
Okay.
take loans from your friends, your family, whoever it is, and then but when you're taking the loans, you
Make
have to
sure you're
make sure
paying.
yes, you have to make sure you're like working.
Mm.
So if you're in debt, you can't feel free.
Right.
Yeah, you can't really feel free. You know you're in
Right.
debt. Why?
Mm. Mhm.
Because you have to pay up.
Right.
So you have to like you have to at that point you wouldn't be working for yourself no more.
Mm.
You're working because you have to pay them.
Right.
And then working because you have to pay them will put you up, because you're working so much.
Right.
If it was up to you, you'll be comfortable with maybe if you have like 20,000, you'll
Mhm.
be comfortable. You wouldn't want to go do a
Right.
certain job. But if you
Right.
make 20,000 a month, or let's say 50,000 a month, and you have to pay
Mm.
someone 200,000, you
Mm.
give them 30,000, only have 10,000 now.
Mhm.
You have a job that's paying you 1,000 cedis. Would
Mhm.
you sleep? You go for it, and then just so
Mm.
you can have a little extra.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think find people that don't be scared of loans.
Mhm.
Just find people that are cool. That
Okay.
just find people that's gonna loan you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Now, I'll be wrapping it up,
Right.
but I like to give founders opportunity to tell me what business they would like to see me interview next. So, what business would you suggest I interview next, and we will work on that.
Okay. So um, give me some time. I'm
That's
thinking.
okay. Take your time.
So, oh my God, I have so many people that have businesses, so I don't really
Okay.
know.
Just one. Okay, maybe I can give you the opportunity to do two, since you say they have a lot.
To do two. Okay, so definitely interview Spencer.
Okay.
He's a stylist. He
Okay.
style most of my clothes, like my
Okay. Your
outfits.
outfits.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he sell them. They are thrifted.
Mm.
So just you interview him, you find out more about him.
Okay.
Yeah. So interview Spencer, and I think who else? Okay, so there is this young young entrepreneur as well. It's a she,
Okay.
and then she's Ariana Basi. I don't know.
Okay.
She has this. It's also cleaning. She
Okay.
goes around town cleaning like homes,
Oh,
and
okay.
she has a laundry as well.
Okay.
But I think she works so hard. She's an influencer part time as well,
Okay.
content creation. So you see, combining all those things is just yeah.
Right.
So I
It's a
think you
lot.
would have something that your audience might want to hear.
Okay. Now, with you and the audience, tell the audience what they should know about your business before they contact you, because you're going to be leaving your contact.
Mhm.
And what would be your biggest advice to any entrepreneur whatsoever? Young entrepreneur, since you're
So
also
which would you want me
young.
to start with?
Start with whatever one that makes you comfortable.
Okay, so for my advice to entrepreneurs, I think actually okay. So I don't know which, but you shouldn't be in a hurry to start a different business. Whatever business that you have, you shouldn't be in a
Mm.
hurry to start a different business
Mm.
and have partners.
Right.
Don't don't have partners but share revenue.
Okay.
Don't share your company. Don't
Right.
have your company like
Right.
maybe you and I
Be in charge.
just be in charge. Have 100% of your company,
Mm.
but you
Share
could you could you
revenue.
could yeah
Yeah.
you can have an agreement with somebody that you split revenue with to
Right.
have 100% of the company
Right.
because you don't know how when it's going to go
Yeah.
up there.
Yeah.
You put in so much work, you get to some point somebody joins you like
You scale
in
up.
2 weeks or 1 month, and
Yeah.
then you're up there. So just have 100% of the business, share revenue.
And with that on point, do you also have partners?
I do not have partners.
Are you looking forward to having partners?
Yes, not with ECS. I think ECS is doing better, not with
Mm-hmm.
ECS. But I do. I'm looking forward to having like creating a team of 10, a
Mm-hmm.
team of 10 entrepreneurs, and we have different businesses, and we fund
Mm-hmm.
each of the businesses, and we push each of the
Mm.
businesses.
Right. Aside from ECS, do you have any other business you are dealing with?
So yes, I know it's
Okay.
a business. I have a cattle farm. So let me just give you the 10 entrepreneurs I'm talking about. I have a cattle farm. I buy the cows, the cow,
Cattles.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, around like 8 to 10,000,
Mm-hmm.
and then in 6 to 8 months, I'm able to make. If I feed them properly, they don't fall sick or nothing.
Mm.
In 6 to 8 months, I'm able to make times two of my invest.
Right.
Right. So just
Right.
imagine it's 10 of us, and then we contribute 2,000 a month.
Mm-hmm.
So 2,000 a month makes 10,000. So the
Mm-hmm.
10,000 we buy one the
Right.
first month. The second month we buy one. It's 12 months
Right.
in a year. You only have to buy for 6 months. And when we buy for 6 months, every other month we'll gain 2,000 cedis profit.
Right.
So just if we have 10 of us and we bought for you know what, the calculation was wrong. You didn't tell me. I'm not thinking about it. So if it's 10 of us and we're contributing 2,000, we're supposed to have 20,000. So
Mm-hmm.
every single month we're buying two.
Right.
By the end of the for 6 months,
Mm.
the seventh month, that's when we'll
Mm-hmm.
be selling the
The
animal that we buy
cattles.
that
Right.
we bought, sorry, the first month.
Right.
So we wouldn't have to.
Oh,
So
okay.
right.
So meaning that eighth month you sent the second animal you bought.
Yes. So then
Okay. Okay.
after the
Okay. Okay.
six
Okay.
months, you wouldn't
Okay.
have to invest your money again. You
Right.
just invest from the business. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? And
Right.
there are
Yeah.
so many
Grab.
other businesses that I need to partner with people to do, because taking 2,000 cities out of your revenue a
Mm-hmm.
month
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't be much as an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so I'm looking forward to. So if you have a business, or if you're looking to start a business, you have the idea, you don't have the resources. Some of us, I might know somebody, or we might have somebody in the team that has what you need to push your business.
Would you want
So
people to reach you out on this one?
yeah,
The idea you just
you
gave.
should reach me out, and then you don't come to me telling me you want to start. It's a team thing. Okay, so you don't come to me talking about you have a business and you need me to help you grow.
Right.
No,
You want to
I
join the
want to.
team.
Yes, I want to. I believe that we are all out here, like the young engineers. We are
Mm-hmm.
all out here competing against teams. So if you want
Right.
to be by yourself and then target through, you wouldn't get far.
Right.
Yeah. So I think if it's 10 of us, there's no way we can't make it. At least 7 of us
Right.
will make it,
Right.
and then even the other three that don't make it will be comfortable.
Right.
Yeah, so I think that's what I'm looking forward to. I have like friends that also have businesses that on it. So I don't know. Maybe you have three, maybe you
Mm-hmm.
might be four, and then
Mm-hmm.
whoever that comes along, then keep it
Mm.
moving. Yeah,
Awesome. So guys, do reach him out.
yeah,
Again, he's going to be leaving his contact and wherever it is, you're going to be reaching out to him on social
right.
media. He's going to be leaving all of that too. So he said I advise. He's giving us the business to contact next. Now your contact list. Please do us the honor.
Okay, so you can reach me on Snapchat. My username is Shun.03. So the Shun is SHUN.03. And I think my business page, Express.car.spa on all social media platforms, ECS. So you can reach me through both those platforms. Yeah.
Amazing. So you all heard the man,
Right.
Sean. Please do reach out. And with regards to the business, very important. I like the idea.
Yeah.
So please do reach out. Then
Okay. You're
Sean,
doing so well by yourself.
thank
Just
you. Thank you.
I'm so proud of you. And I think your
Thank you.
questioning, your reasoning is so fast. Like, you're good at
Thank you.
conversations. I think
Thank you.
we should look forward to,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, we should
doing
do this
something.
again.
Yeah,
We should do
right.
this again. All right,
Okay.
Sean. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. Okay.
Thank you.
People that specialize in taking care of them. So it's just so
Yeah, I knew this.
things are running. I don't